I now need to add some summary room schedules to go along with the room by room schedule that I've been creating over the previous lectures. So what I've done is I've created 2 more room schedules. I did this by right-clicking on the room schedule and duplicating the view and duplicate. Alternatively, you can go ahead and create a new schedule by right-clicking on schedules and quantities and new schedule and quantities. It's up to you. So I created one called room schedule by level, which contains just the level, the area, and the square feet. If we look at the fields, it just contains the level, the area, and the calculated value for area and square feet. The sorting is simply by level, and I've unticked itemize every instance, hence why you can only see one row, and the area and square feet are blank, because there are multiple values in there, so Revit just displays blank. However, in order to have the combined area for the entire ground floor, what I can do is go to Formatting, click on the Area field, and on this drop down where it says No Calculation, if I click on the little arrow for the drop down, I can calculate totals, which will calculate the total value of the area values within that one row. I can calculate the minimum, which will show me the minimum area. I can calculate the maximum, which will show me the maximum area, and I can calculate the minimum and maximum. So for this exercise and this schedule, I need to calculate totals for the area in square meters column, and I also need to do the same for the area in square feet column. So I will select Calculate Totals, click OK, and here you see it has now added all the ground floor areas together to create one value for the total of the square meterage for the ground floor. If I go to this next schedule that I've created, room schedule by level and department, I can do the same thing. So I can go to Formatting, click on Area, Calculate Totals, click on Area Square Feet, click on Calculate Totals, click OK, and you can see that this has given me the total back of house area on the ground floor. And this one, for example, this is giving me the total amount of circulation on the first floor. Just to show you the result of the different options, I could calculate the minimum, click OK. So this is showing the minimum area, so i.e. the room that's got the smallest area. If I click on maximum, this is showing me the maximum room size. And if I click on minimum and maximum, it gives me, if I just bring out this column, it gives me the smallest and then the largest. Just going to undo that. We in practice never really used the calculate minimum maximum and the calculate minimum maximum, as it doesn't really apply to our architectural outputs. However, we use calculate totals quite a lot when we are doing summary schedules. Another thing to note is that under sorting and grouping, I can add a footer to the level sorting, which will add a footer underneath here. So I can give it a title, count, and totals, which will give me the title of the level or the grouping. So this will give me ground floor. The count, if I had the number, and the totals. So I can click OK. You can see it gives me the ground floor. It then gives me the count, so there's 31 rooms on the ground floor, and then the totals of all the departments on the ground floor. So you'll see how this 1564.6, if I go back to my room schedule by level, is 1564.6. Go back to my sorting and grouping. I don't necessarily need the title or the count, so all I need is the totals only, and that will give me the total for each floor and all of the departments. If I go back to sorting and grouping, I can add a grand total at the bottom, and again I can add the title, count and totals, title and totals, the count and totals, and the totals only. So if I click, I'll just go through all these to show you what they produce. So there's no title for the sorting because there is no sorting, so it gives me the count, and then it gives me the grand total of the areas. So 1564.6 plus 1608 plus 1475.8 gives me 4648.4 meters squared. If I change this to title and totals, it'll just show me grand total. I can change the title, so I could just say total area. See how the title changes. If I do counts and totals, it will just give me the total number of rooms, so 91, and the total areas. And if I do totals only, it will just give me the totals here. So I will have title and totals. Okay. I'll do the same for the room schedule by level. So I will do sort and grouping, grand total, total area, title and totals, and click OK. So there we go. Note that if I were to not have a calculation for, say, the area in square meters, click OK, none of the individual level areas would be calculated, and neither would the grand total. We'll put that back to calculate totals. So again, I could go back to my original room schedule, the itemized room schedule. I could click sorting and grouping. I could add a footer under each of the levels to give me just the totals only. However, I must make sure that in formatting, under the area, I select calculate totals for both the area in square meters and the area in square feet. And there we have the total there. I've now created a sheet as well, so I can double click to open the sheet, and I can just click and drag these schedules. Now you see, because I duplicated the schedule, it's still broken into these three columns, which you can't see whilst you're in the schedule view. In order to align them just to create one column, just click on the little control arrow symbol here, left mouse button, click and drag, and for the other column, click and drag, and then that creates just a single schedule. Again, I'll probably have to do it with the same, here. Notice how when you put two schedules on a sheet, they will automatically align up with the dashed blue line, they automatically snap. I just need to rearrange these here. So here we have my two summary schedules. So that is how to use calculate totals to get the total area of any grouping and also the total areas for the whole building. Obviously this works just with rooms, but you can do it with anything that has a number or length value or an area value, for example.